Do Muslims believe in jinns and jinn possessions? I received a comment when I posted a video that modern Muslims don't believe in jinns. You'd be surprised. I actually wrote an article to explain away jinn possession called How Do You Explain Jinn Possession on Medium, because I kept getting asked these questions. I had Muslims coming and telling me my walls were bleeding in Pakistan, there's things I can't explain, this and that. How do you explain these things? The problem is that jinns are unfalsifiable. There's no way to disprove jinns because they don't exist and they are mythical creatures. However, people ascribe certain physical phenomena to them. So this is a conversation that Abdullah Gondal and myself had with a Muslim caller who believes in jinn but doesn't believe in jinn possession. And she says, my family is known for this, meaning that other families she knows are ones that believe in jinn possession. In fact, I had one Muslim come and tell me, you need to come and watch an exorcism. I said, why? He said, because that will bring you back to Islam. And I was thinking in my mind, how what a strange thing. You want me to watch a jinn possession, like some satanic thing, and that is going to convince me of Islam? I said, how does that work? And the fellow told me, well, the jinn speaks in Chinese. I said, did you record it? He said, no. I said, so how do you know it was Chinese then? How do you know he didn't know Chinese? How do you know he didn't know a few words of Chinese? I said, you got to look into these things with a little bit of skepticism. Just because the guy was saying something that sounded like Chinese doesn't make it Chinese. And there's no way. I mean, and it's possible that he actually knew some Chinese too, right? So I mean, these are much more simple explanations than, well, he spoke Chinese, so therefore Allah is true. It's like, where are you getting Allah out of this whole thing? Maybe jinns are real and Allah is not real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but regardless, the point is Muslims do believe in jinns, and we had this interesting conversation with this respectful caller who believes in jinns but not jinn possession. And we ask her and we try to make her see that if you think jinn possession is silly, well, why not take the next step and stop believing in jinns as well?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, first of all, I'm a Muslim who doesn't believe in jinn possessions. I'm actually an Orthodox Sunni Muslim,
Okay.
but I've never believed in it. And we're actually a family who doesn't believe in it, and we are known for that. We actually have a story where a lot of people just come to us with different things, and they portray as if it is a jinn possession, but it isn't actually. For example, we had a woman who was supposedly becoming crazy, and no one wanted to treat her, and she wasn't becoming better. So my father took her to a doctor. He's actually a doctor himself, and then they found something on her brain, some kind of tumor, and they actually, my father paid for her operation, and it went away. She became normal again, and now it's kind of our job to follow up on these stories and debunk them as they go. So this is the reason why people usually don't come to us with jinn possession stories, because they know they usually kind of silly. Although, yeah, they
So
just don't understand that the human brain is a complex issue. And
absolutely.
yeah.
So you believe in jinns, but you don't believe in possession. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason you believe in jinns is because the Quran says there's such a thing as jinns?
Yeah. Yes. And we don't believe in jinn possessions because the Quran doesn't say anything like it in the because it's such a big issue that it has to be mentioned in the Quran first, not because it's just too big. You have a jinn who takes possession of your actions, of your words, of everything, and on the day of judgment, God is supposed to be judging all your actions. What happens to the time where you are possessed by a jinn? Does it somehow eradicate?
It would be considered insanity, right? It would be like insanity.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be. Do you would you say that if it wasn't for Islam, you wouldn't believe in jinns, or do you think you would believe in jinns anyways? Like, do you have any experience with jinns yourself, or like when you say it's nonsense that they can possess people, like we would say it's just nonsense. Period. Why stop at possession? Because you definitely sound to be really intelligent, coming from a perspective of rationality and reason. You know, I would invite you to say, like, to go further and say, well, magic is nonsense too, evil eye is nonsense too, sihr, you know, and it's all nonsense because none of this is real.
Yeah, it's of course it is the Islamic perspective that gives the credentials for all of it. But I think the thing with jinn possessions, it's a complex issue that we think it's actually kind of unfair to be done by God Himself on humans. And my father actually debated a lot of scholars on this issue, and they say, okay, there's a difference of opinion. You can disbelieve in jinn possessions, but you have to believe in jinns. Um, yeah, and I've never had any experiences with jinn or magic, even or evil eye. People try to tell me always that some things happen because of that in my life, but I never believed in it. I think it's kind of silly.
Mm.
I'm a person who's I'd like to take I believe that I'm accountable for my own actions. So if the lights are flickering, it's probably because you didn't pay your bills and the government is trying to give you a notice.
Oh my God. Actually, thank you so much for your call. I'll mention a light flickering story with myself as well.
Okay.
But one thing
Yeah,
I find it very interesting is you're saying that the jinns, like the Quran doesn't say the jinn possession, but then when we come back to the Mawdatain, the two pulls, right? Would you not feel that, not explicitly though, but implicitly they do say in a way that jinns can possess humans?
The story about the Qul Huwallahu Ahad, these
Qul a'udhu
surahs,
birabbin nas, yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Um, I think it was because of black magic, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah, but then at the bottom it says about the waswasa from the jinns, right? So the whispering, and then how they. So I was just saying, doesn't imply that they can influence the actions of our
I
people.
believe in waswasa, but I don't believe in jinn possessions.
Okay, okay. But so
So
then one would ask again, till what point do the waswasa turn into, or the intensity of the waswasa goes to an extent that it becomes overpowering and the jinn takes control of you? Because could that happen in your view?
in my opinion, no. I think words are powerful. So I think waswasa is powerful enough for a human to kind of do certain actions.
Okay.
But let's just say that I'm an Orthodox Sunni Muslim my whole life. I'm now at a phase. This is the reason why I'm watching you guys. Um, I'm kind of questioning everything. So I cannot give you my opinions
Totally understand.
currently, but my
In
opinions back then.
in fact,
Uh,
just for your safety, I would say if anybody knows who you are, I would say refrain from saying anything that might land you in any form of trouble with the community. Okay?
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
thank you so much
But
for your
Thank you
call.
so much. Thank you so much
I
for your
had
call.
I had a
Yeah.
question. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
sure.
I didn't.
Go ahead.
Oh
Go
yeah, go
ahead.
ahead.
I went off about my disbelief in gym possession, but I forgot to ask the question. Did you ever link a personal experience to a gym possession, evil magic,
Yes.
or evil eye?
So, flickering of the lights, I laughed when you said that. So, there was a phase in my life of like, I think 2014, 2013. I was alone. I had visited family for a few months back in Pakistan, and then I had gotten engaged and had flown back to Canada, and I was feeling very homesick. So I was also depressed, right? And yeah, so my family had convinced me that and I myself convinced myself that there's something up because like these feelings and whatnot are not normal. And my family had told me that there's an auntie in my family that's threatened to do black magic on us. So that led into and fed into my paranoia. So I used to like do the special, like I'll pray the salah, and then I had these special du'as I'd recite after for taking the genies off and the black magic off of me, right? And this one night, I just get up and I'm praying, and as soon as I say the salam at the right and left, the lights flicker, right? Like there was a whole power surge for a good 3 4 seconds. They flicker a few times, but then it stabilizes, and I say Allahu Akbar, and I thought, look, I said the dua, and Allah, it seems that the energy of the genies left, and that caused the like an interaction with the field in a light bulb or something. And it made it flicker. But that was my thinking like back then. But like I said, like yeah, it could feed uh, into these kind of stories if you're like you said not inclined towards rationality and have not been informed properly. Yeah, that's happened to me.
Yeah, thanks for your call, and thanks for sharing the perspective of like there is a perspective among Sunnis that possession isn't real. Like you said, a lot of this stuff is, the religion itself is not just the Quran and Sunnah; it's also the words of the scholars and other things. So definitely, some scholars would say that possession is a real thing. Bilal Phillips wrote, his book, The Exorcist Tradition in Islam, and he spoke about this. So like, there is a difference of opinion. But thank you for sharing that. That's a good point.
Thank you.
And
Thank
good
you for
luck on
taking
your
the call.
journey. Yeah, and good luck
Thank
on your
you.
journey.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.